The world is a vampire sent to J. Secret destroyers hold you up to the flames. And what do I get for my pay? Betrayed desires and a piece of the game. Even though, no, I suppose I'll show all my cool and cool black gold Joe. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. And someone will say what is lost can never be saved. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. Now I'm naked.
Okay. I'm sorry for being so late, but there's something wrong. I don't know if it's with... Oh, God, I touched it. I'm afraid. I think that I fucked up the XLR cable, and I don't know how to describe the noise that it puts out. It sounds like asteroids. It sounds like 8-bit game noises, just randomly. And I don't hear it anymore. And I was fucking with it for literally half an hour. I replugged everything. I changed it. I reorganized it. And then I just moved the cloud lifter. And the cloud lifter is something that just lifts the audio up with an electrical signal so that it can actually be heard. And it stopped. And I'm like, is this like electrical interference with the fucking lifter that I'm hearing in my mic? Like, what the fuck is happening? So I don't know what I did or what I changed, but just moving something like unfucked the mic, and I'm so weirded out by this. So yeah, that was fucking crazy, and it drove me nuts. Just a warning before anyone throws in their super chats. This is going to be a lightning speed stream because nothing has happened since Tuesday, besides a couple things, and there is two like quote unquote big pieces of drama that are just like outside of my realm. So if this even lasts an hour, it completely depends on my ability to participate in like these adjacent subjects that are just a little bit close to me, but not really. But let us start, of course, with the news. And as you guys know, I'm a big fan of Portugal and all Portuguese things, and that's why I've learned the language of Portugal, and I can now understand Brazilian, okay? Cloudflare para barrar ex poderia impactar o funcionamento do Pix avalia especialista. What this means, obviously, is that the Supreme Court minister who in Brazil appears to be like the Fuhrer of Brazil. I don't know what the fuck. It's like that Cholo guy. What the fuck is his name? Lupa or something? He gets into office, right, in Brazil. He's now the president. And he says to the Supreme Court Minister, are you the law? And he goes, I am the law. He's like, okay, go, Supreme Court Minister, go and do my bidding. So they banned X, right? So X just says, okay, well, I guess we'll leave the country. And then they banned Starlink, even though a lot of people in the Amazon use Starlink because they don't have any fucking infrastructure out there. So then they're like, okay, well, we can still access X because it's routed through Cloudflare, which is everywhere. So they blocked Cloudflare, and Pix is like a big payment processor in Brazil. So they blotted out almost all online market activity in Brazil trying to ban X because the law says that it must be banned at all costs. So they unblocked Cloudflare, but now they're angry. They're like, why are we still able to access X through your network? You gotta block X. So they're like genuinely, Brazil's like having like a big tart out. Like, what the fuck? We don't control absolutely everything in the entire world, and people can access the internet with or without our permission. This is fucked up. So I'm wondering if Brazil will be the next country to develop their lowercase I internet. I've spoken at length, of course, about the lowercase I internet that exists in North Korea and China as like a demonstration of what's going to happen in the future. I had assumed that Russia would be next in line to develop their little I internet, but apparently that's not going to happen. And I would make a joke about Dota being very popular in Russia, so they can't do that. But if you play Dota, you know that there's 4 different Chinese servers. There's like one in Shanghai, one in Beijing. There's like a bunch, and just in China. So, and they're on the inside of the firewall. If you don't have a Chinese account, you can't play on those servers. And they're the only ones that behave like that. So they could definitely play Dota. That's not the issue. So I don't know. I guess Russia has some reason to continue being connected to the internet, but Brazil was very quickly figuring out what Roskomnadzor learned decades ago, that you can't really control the internet without very extreme censorship measures that would effectively cut you off from the internet. So the question is, are they prepared to go all the way and do what must be done in order to destroy the internet once and for all? They might. They are they are, I don't know. Because they don't really want to be like China, I guess. China is very different from Brazil. Maybe what's going to happen is that the rest of the world is going to develop their own internet, and they're just going to boot America out, and it's just going to be like the American internet. And it's not like going to be like China, where there's like a small I internet that they set up to censor the outside world. It's going to be a small I internet imposed by the rest of the world. It's like, you guys are too annoying for us. We're going to just not connect to you. But imagine the quality of Dota games if they did get rid of all the Mexicans and all the Peruvians and all the Brazilians from the servers, and it was just American players. It would be tenfold, 1,000-fold better even. Are we there? People seem to like this idea. The U.S. should just cut off the rest of the world. Just take an axe and cut it off. Fuck Brazil. I agree. Fuck them. You know what else? Bombs. Israeli bombs in particular. So the gist of this is, and this of course is already like a big meme, but as always, I speak for those of us listening 4 years in the future during the Civil War to occupy some time. At this point in time, Israel intercepted a cargo ship delivering pagers of all things. Did I talk about this? I feel like I talked about pagers already. I did talk about this. I remember I made a joke about telephone numbers and everyone gave me shit. Well, fuck. Okay, so the update then since last Tuesday would be that it did come from the Taiwanese merchant ship. I thought they had bought them directly from Israel, but Israel actually boarded the merchant ship and then loaded up not only their pagers, but then like solar panels and basically everything else that they could with explosives. So that's how they did that. And there's over 3,000 injured now, and half of them are civilians. And this, of course, has sparked a great debate on the internet on if using remote detonated explosives disguised as consumer goods is an ethical war activity. Those in support of Israel say that casualties are just a normal byproduct of war. And probably a lot of those casualties were actually secret Hezbollah members who deserved it anyways. And then those who are anti-Israel are, of course, raising the obvious implications of the government being able to detonate any electronic device that you have on your person at a moment's notice as being a serious issue that people should be concerned with. Just remember that your phone is probably entirely made of C4, and the CIA will use it to explode your head when you're on a phone call one day if you decide to post the N-word on Zitter. That is our future. This is the future that we chose. Dr. Theodore John Kaczynski warned us of industrial society and its implications, and we have continued to ignore him and walk around with lithium-ion bombs in our pockets anyways. Was there anything else to add to that? I don't know. Whenever I look at Twitter, I don't do it as much anymore because I don't have my account. And I know that's to the great relief of many people who hated. I don't know. I thought it would be, it would add a little bit to talk about things that were trending, but everyone seemed to absolutely despise me talking about Zitter stuff. So I don't look at it too much anymore. But Whenever I do, because I don't follow anyone on the KiwiFarms.net account, I get like a really weird blend of like super popular tweets from like all over Twitter. And it's like weird trannies and conservatards arguing about dumb shit all the fucking time. And what I've noticed about like Destiny in particular is that he's like one of the most vile people on the internet right now. And I don't know if he's just like intentionally rage baiting constantly and harder than he ever has before. Because his rage bait is like the safest position. He's just super pro Israel to the point where it looks like parody. It makes me wonder if he like actually believes anything that he says, or if it just attracts like a certain high paying audience, or if he's just literally being paid by APAC to say what he does. They passed the bills. What bills? I put my mic on the different side of my desk, and now I can't read chat and look at my mic at the same time. What bills? What bills are you talking about? California and Florida passed the bills. Which ones? Destiny is the spirit of Trotsky reborn. He is a vile little rodent. Yeah, I feel like he is losing the plot just a little bit. I feel like he is actually kind of unspooling a bit. Because he lost his wife again, right? Like, he lost Melania to, like, some hobo living in Norway or some shit. That would probably devastate anybody. Imagine if you had a girlfriend and then she was like, actually, I'd rather literally move out of the country and hook up with this homeless man than spend another second with you. And also, I fucked a black guy. Like, if that was their breakup, he'd probably be like, you know what? I do love Israel. He'd probably be like, yeah, actually, you know what? Fuck all this. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm gonna go defend pedophiles on Twitter. I'm gonna go hang out with Mr. Girl. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just every time I see anything from Destiny now, I kind of hate the fact that I was exposed to it. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but I did a conversation with Destiny. I talked to him one time, and I just wanted to talk to him about like because I thought that he was like a person that did like interviews and stuff, and I really wanted to talk to him and his left leaning audience about the dangers of online censorship and how the backbone level censorship is unprecedented and a very, very clear signal about where the world is headed and that it should concern people. And I'll never forget that he deleted this conversation. And I'm aware that what he does usually is he does his 97-hour live streams where he plays the fucking space cockroach game. And then he goes through and he takes out like segments and uploads it to his main channel with like clickbait title. But I spent like an hour or two talking to him about something that was so important to me, and he just deleted it from his channel, and he's never mentioned it ever again, and he never clipped it. I'm like, wow, that's really mean. I even took like little notes. I like outlined everything that I wanted to say, so I touched on all my bases and didn't forget anything. And I tried to handle it with like finesse and grace, and try to be like nice and non-confrontational, so that it would be a real conversation. And he just deleted it like it was tears in the rain. And I will hold that against him forever. Because it's just such a monumental disrespect. Anyways, that's the Hezbollah stuff. Moving right along, chat. This actually closes out the news segment, chat. Here we have the third. Actually, is this the fourth one? This isn't linked to his Twitter account. I feel bad. I need to give credit to the artist here. Let's see. Make sure I pull up the actual account. Mr. Nubbly. He goes by Jolly Biscuit on every single thing except Twitter, where he's Mr. Nubbly for some reason. Here we are. End of the fucking world, part 4. So now he's like really churning these out. Before I read this, keep in mind it's like this was July 30th, August 13th, August 27th, at least like 2 weeks in between them. This is another 2 weeks. And then this is only 1 week. So now that he's getting like likes on all of his posts because I keep reading them on my streams, he's like, whoa, this is it. I'm taking off. I got to start upping my production because I got to give the people what they want. What they want is more of this comic series. And I agree. I do want to see more of this. So this is End of the World Part 4 by Mr. Nubley. Okay, so the kids are going to Lesbian, which is actually kind of funny. It reminds me of when I was a little kid, there was this show on Nickelodeon called Invader Zim. And if you were not born in the 2000s, this show is probably the most annoying fucking thing you would ever be exposed to. But back in the 2000s, just like He So Random comedy was like really the height of comedy for kids. To the point where Chris called this random access humor, which is just like pulling a reference or like a random phrase out of like the corner of your mind. And I've always really liked that expression, random access humor, because it sums up shit like Family Guy and Invader Zim perfectly. But there was one thing in Invader Zim that I remember to this day that was so funny, was that their school had a sign that said school on it, but it was spelled wrong. It was spelled Skewl. And I thought that was absolutely hysterical that the school itself would not know how to spell the word school. That was what I found funny as a kid. That's what all us little millennial kids found absolutely jaw-droppingly, gobsmackingly hilarious, rolling on the ground, laughing it up. Anyways, Lesbian, 79 days until I can't fucking believe it's only 2 months away. What a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. What kind of filth are you putting in the school library? So the Chuds have marched out of their dog fucking convention now, I guess, and are holding up signs that actually say, with big red circles, facts. So they are protesting the mere existence of facts, not just facts in the school library or l'escule, la bibliothèque de l'escule. They are protesting the actual abstract concept of a fact. And the MAGA Chumptard says, and his hat says, honk, beep, beep. So I'm assuming that Mr. Nubley does not like people who drive cars because they're very obnoxious and they honk and beep at you. But he's yelling out his window, what kind of filth are you putting in the school library? And he's holding up what appears to be a magazine. Then the window he's yelling at responds in the third panel and says, sir, that's a Chinese takeout menu, and this is a Hardee's, which is, of course, a meme. And he says, well, I'm taking this straight to the press. He's actually, I didn't mention this. I don't know how I didn't mention this, but he looks like an old redneck hillbilly. He kind of looks like the jockey from Left 4 Dead 2, wearing a honk honk beep beep hep, and his vein, he's like pure red, and his veins are like dark purple, like on a penis or something. And then his red truck actually says, I heart kids, kind of like the I Love New York shirt, but it says I love kids. So this guy, his heart's in the right place. He says, soon the whole world will know about your brainwashing campaign. We go down. Jesse Waters, who is portrayed as a normal person, but with a distended neck, says, or is talking to the guy who's, I kind of admire the fact that he's on live television talking to Wesley Jotters. Sorry, I said Jesse Waters, but I was wrong. It's Wesley Jotters. He's actually talking to the Wesley Jotters from his SUV. So he's still in his car. He's being filmed while inside his car. He has not left his car to conduct this interview. Wesley says, wow, and just for speaking up, they asked you to leave the school grounds? He says, it's preposterous, Wesley. Do I look like a threat to children? And Wesley does not want to say no or yes, so he just says I and well. The man is now so irate that his eyes have begun to spin around inside their sockets, and now they kind of sit above one another, like if they were a cyclops, but with two eyes, like stacked on top. He says, listen, if you don't want your kids speaking Chinese and being brainwashed into their strange oriental ways, you can't be racist to the Chinese, Mr. Nubley. Then lock your child in my basement for safety. And Wesley says, would you mind reading some of these words so the parents at home know what to look out for? He says, listen to this shit, Wesley. Dim sum, disgusting. Chow mein, ew. Dumplings, what the fuck? A dumpling is just dim sum, I'm pretty sure. The joke is there, of course, that it's an English word. What the fuck does this shirt say free candy? It says free speech. Sorry, I was thinking that he was going on with like a danger to children thing, but it says free speech. So that's the joke, is that he's a free speech warrior, not that he has free candy. Okay, I got you. Maybe instead of my Kiwi gladiator thing, I should just sell the Mr. Nubbly free speech wife beater. Wesley, what's happening to you? Wesley appears to be transforming. He says, those words, those cursed Chinese words, they're turning me into a lesbian. The free speech guy then says, oh no, I must have accidentally activated the Chinese magic. As if that was not obvious enough from the first panel. It says wub wub, and it does appear that Wesley Gelatos is turning into a lesbian with boobs and pink hair. Wesley says, viewers at home, it's too late for me to turn off your TV, save yourself from the gay curse. And then there are old people watching this on television, and Grandpa turns into a lesbian as well that has a Madonna shirt. And says, how come the curse didn't make you gay? And then Grandma, who is like 80, says, it's time I told you where all our rubber bands keep disappearing to. I don't know what the fuck that means. What is Grandma doing with the rubber bands? Is that like absurdist Mr. Nubbly, like ninth cloud, Nimbus level, esoteric humor? Or is there some lesbian fascination with rubber bands that I am completely unaware of, even as a max level homophobe? Penis removal. I don't know if that's the joke. Rubber band pussy. China wins again. Lebo bands. Flicking the bean? Ow. That sounds like it would hurt a lot. She eats them. What kind of bearded guy makes these? Mr. Nubbly. My hero. Coomer humor. Okay, I gotta look this up. I gotta see if there's some kind of through line to this. Can I do Bing Copilot? Does this work? I'm not signed in. I don't know if it will let me. Does the DuckDuckGo one let you? Leo Brave. They're all basically the same fucking thing right now, right? So I just go to Leo Brave AI. Can I ask it? Isn't there like a DuckDuckGo AI? Oh, there is like a chat. Okay, let me start with the DuckDuckGo one. GPT-4 Mini. Okay, I'm gonna say, what would a lesbian do with a bunch of rubber bands? Question mark. Okay, this is what DuckDuckGo suggests to me. A lesbian, like everyone else, could use rubber bands for various creative or practical purposes, such as craft jewelry, organization, games and activities, hair accessories, and home repairs. DuckDuckGo AI, you have completely failed me. That's not how you answer this question, sir. Wait, can I? Oh, hold up. Let me try asking Grok. Maybe Grok will understand this. Grok is an expert on lesbians because he's also homophobic. Okay, Grok. What would a? Oh wait, I gotta do Mini 2 for Grok 2 Mini Beta Fun Mode. What would a lesbian do with rubber bands that a straight woman would not do? Question mark. Okay. Okay, Grok is stumped on this. Given the information provided, there isn't a direct, explicit connection or widely recognized activity related to lesbian activities or rubber bands. Innovative uses in sexuality. Lesbian sex tips in movies like Good Kisser might suggest uses of rubber bands in sexual contexts. Oh, maybe these. You know those rubber bands you wear on your wrist when you have like a when you have like you know how like the kids wear rubber bands to show like I support these various things, and then they have like a sleeve of like rubber bands showing that they're pro-choice and pro-LGBTQ AIP plus ally, pro support the troops, and they got like this entire sleeve of like rubber. You don't know what I'm talking about? No, hold up, I'll show you. Pro LGBTQIAP plus ally band. Wristband. That's what they're called, I think. Aha. These, hold up. Like these things. Can we ask the author? I'm banned on Zitter Can someone ask him for me? Like, Mr. Numbly, can you explain the rubber band joke? This is gonna be one of those jokes that is never explained. Like, I remember the famous one from the Sonichu comics was Sonichu responding to something and saying, "You don't have to tell me once, but in the Stone Age." And I don't think anyone has ever had a good guess for what the fuck that means. Or the Nick Rekieta, a cop in Denny's joke. Like, these esoteric 9,000 IQ abstract comedy bits. They have some connection to reality, but there is there is some explanation for it that nobody can possibly guess except for Mr. Numbly himself. And he might take it to the grave. He might realize that I'm suffering, I'm agonizing over the answer to this, and just never explain it. Obama sucked. What's a cow tools? Okay, I'm gonna look this up. This better not be cow tools. What the fuck does that mean? Cow tools is a it's a Cow Tools is from the Far Side, published in 2082. It depicts a cow standing behind a table of bizarre, misshapen implements with the caption "Cow Tools." The cartoon confused many readers who wrote or phoned in seeking an explanation of the joke. In response to the controversy, Larson issued a press release clarifying that the thrust of the cartoon was simply that if the cows were to make tools, they would lack something in sophistication. It had been described as arguably the most loathed Far Side strip ever, while also becoming an internet meme. I mean, I kind of get it. I like what makes it funny is that it pissed so many people off. So many people read this comic and was like, "Fuck this guy, this piece of shit, Gary Larson. Fuck him. Fuck his cow tools. Fuck you." I don't think Mr. Numbly could achieve that level of anger and frustration. maybe, in fact, it was Mr. Numbly's comics that were the cow tools. Chat. Anyways. Okay, this is also a blast from the past. David Firth. I want to see how long it takes for me to say the name David Firth and for someone to respond with the appropriate reaction name. With the appropriate thing. Bro, I'm not going to look up a fucking California hate speech bill in Florida and California midstream. You have to wait. Just post on the fucking Kiwi Farms. Salad fingers, that's right. David Firth, I read on stream about a week ago, probably 2 weeks ago. There was a gross weirdo who was posing as multiple children on Instagram and photoshopping himself into pictures of children called Schoolboy 9 or like Smart Schoolboy 9. Well, he is from the same town in England, because he is British, of course, as David Firth, the creator of Salad Fingers, an old internet cartoon that many people remember fondly. So, this led some to speculate either that David Firth knew Smart Schoolboy 9, or David Firth was inspired by Smart Schoolboy 9 into creating Salad Fingers. So he has actually come out and denounced this. He said, please stop asking me about Smart Schoolboy 9. I sent a DM to a few weeks ago asking if I remember. I was replied to a DM a few weeks ago asking if I remembered this guy who would walk around Doncaster dressed as a schoolboy with weird makeup on. Yes, I walked past him in the town centre 20 to 25 years ago. He's been doing this since the 1990s. That's how fucking old this creep is, and nobody has ever done anything about him being a fucking freak. I walked past him. That's all. Now I see posts and videos saying he has something to do with the creator of Salad Fingers. No, he doesn't. He was just your classic local lunatic. I was a teenager at the time. I only remembered because his appearance was striking. Now my DMs are full of TikTok detectives. I've never heard him talk, or knew what he was up to, or interacted with him in any way. He didn't say anything to me. Salad Fingers is not based on him. Please stop asking for information. I have said everything I remember. Oh my god, trending predator in locale. David Firth. Dude, the word has escaped velocity. It is now a thing. Even David Firth knows what the fuck a locale is. It's happened. What else can we meme into existence, chat? Can we meme the abolition of copyright as a concept? I think so. I think we can if we try hard enough, chat. Fascinating. Was it Devo? Anyway, that's it. Just a weird thing that I happened to notice that I thought was funny. Um, this is less funny. This is that Dragon Age game. Apparently, the original Dragon Age game was like really popular. I've never played any of them. I'm just aware that they're like Coomer games. They're like games that have like really like explicit sex scenes. Where you can like fuck dinosaurs or some shit. So they made another one, and this time, they decided to add a full, comprehensive character creation screen where you have any kind of body type that you want. You can select your pronouns, including gender neutral pronouns, and your gender, which includes non binary. This isn't even the full of it. They have the usual slew of disabilities that they plug in for DEI purposes, including the Michael Jackson disease, which for some reason white people are fucking obsessed with. The alopecia or whatever the fuck. Because it's like a black people disease, but it directly affects skin color. And then it's like, oh my god, if you just gave black people alopecia, they would be white. And it's like, no, they would still be black, but whatever. What's this? Birthmarks. Oh no, we're Redditor. They also added, I wonder if I can find this in the thread real quick. They added double mastectomy scars. So if you want to be a little pooner dude in Dragon Age and get fucked in the ass, you literally can do that. You can be represented in this game. Is this it?
But he, him, she, her, and they, them, and then your gender is man, woman, non-binary. Love that. Love the inclusivity. Top surgery scars are also included in this for all of our trans and non-binary rooks out there. I absolutely was blown away by this. It's beautiful to see the inclusion in the game and to see yourself represented.
Dude, in 2040, when people pull out these old games to play them, they're gonna be so confused. Like, what the fuck was wrong with people during like the 2010s and 2020s? These people are fucking. What the fuck is a top surgery scar? What the fuck is wrong with them? What did he call people or she?
Out there, and non-binary rooks out, and non-binary rooks out, and non-binary rooks out there.
I thought she was gonna say folks, but. What's a rooks? Is this like a Gaelic expression for folks? Rooks? Is that how you say folks if you're from Scotland? You say rooks? Like the chess piece? Non-binary rooks. Burn? Rooks? Rooks. Rocks. Interesting. Oh, it's a character's name. Okay, I got you. Look at this little pooner dude that she made. Look at the evil that she has conjured into reality. You were given the crafting clay to make anything that you wanted. You can make like a really cool dinosaur dude with like magic. Or you could make like a dark elf bow, like assassin. And you're like, I want to make a scrawny Asian pooner. Somebody that I could overpower, even as a fat, retarded woman. It's like, why would you create evil? You were given the opportunity to do good, and you created evil. Truly disgusting. Now, sorry, I hate to look up things on the fly, but there was, what was this? Matt Gaetz is trending. Oh, that's nice. Let's see, Dragon Age lead dev. That's not right. Let's say tranny. Ah, there we go. Okay, this is who I was looking for. From the Bioware blog, Corin Bush. Our latest edition of Developer Stories shows how a career path can take you to the different places but still lead you right where you belong. Today, the spotlight is on game director Corin Bush, who's helping the guide the next Dragon Age. This is really poorly written. It's the latest stop in a more than 15-year journey that started with golf. Oh boy, a professional golfer leading Dragon Age. Can I be a golfer in Dragon Age? Fresh out of college with a degree in digital animation, Corin wasn't aiming for a career in games. I expected I'd probably work in film, she says, but while looking at career prospects, I was fortunate enough to land a contract gig doing environment art in the Tiger Woods franchise. I knew nothing, literally nothing about golf, but I'll tell you, from my first taste of being a part of the game team, I knew I'd never do anything else. I fell absolutely in love with game design. Following her time on the links, Corin moved over to the Maxis' Sims franchise. Oh, the Sims franchises that just released a bunch of tranny shit like top surgery scars while taking out essential things that have been in the game since the Sim 1s, like pools. That Sims franchise, that was a resounding success for Maxis. As a systems designer, not just art anymore, systems, she remained at the Maxis for almost a decade. Oh, so 3 and 4, huh? The ones that suck the most. 3, of course, being one of the most unoptimized games ever released ever. But when the opportunity to move over to Bioware arose, she jumped at the chance. It had always been one of those dream destinations for me, she says. I just adore JRPGs that prioritize choice and offer the kinds of relationships that tug at your heartstrings. You know, the way that Miss Corin said that Bioware was a dream job for her really reminds me of this meme. Oh, here we go. Here we go. A Bioware fan has fun. Look at that Bioware fan, just happy as a pig. We can only aspire to be as happy as this Bioware fan.
Andraste.
Why is there a person talking over this footage? I just want to see the Bioware fan have fun. Anyways, let's continue. Now she's helping guide one of those RPGs herself, though she's careful not to overstate the directorial role. Game directors are sometimes thought of as big personalities who are singularly responsible for the purity of their creative vision, Corin says. But for me, it's really about being a steward for the vision that we as a team have collectively defined. I get a high-level view of everything that's coming together and can steer the project as it does. But ultimately, it's about empowering people to work together, play with ideas, offer critiques, and make decisions, all to help a cohesive experience for players. And I'll just read this part. The Dragon Age franchise has a very special place in Corin's heart. In part, she says that's because the games are all about possibility. In Dragon Age, you can be who you want to be. In a world of infinite opportunity, if I get to redesign myself, a little Asian twink pooner, I think, is the exact representation I would want. Explore the possibilities and consequences of your choices and build relationships that leave a lasting impression. Few games give players that kind of autonomy while also weaving such rich narratives. I think it really speaks to why our players feel so invested in this world. Oh, here we go. And the idea of being who you want to be carries a particularly special meaning for Corin. As a queer, trans woman, she says, I have a perspective on games that not everyone has. Dragon Age has long been a place where LGBTQIP+ folks can see themselves like themselves, represented respectfully. It's inherently very queer, and it's such a rare thing for marginalized communities to have representation where we feel proud and powerful in how we are depicted. Proud, powerful, the little pooner that could. I think I can get both my tits chopped off because I was molested as a kid. So proud. What a proud rook. And how I depict it, it's so deeply meaningful for so many. I often get emotional when I think about what it would mean to have a younger version of myself see someone like her in a game, as a hero, no less. I hope we can be a safe place for our queer players to know they are not alone, that they are brilliant and worthy, that they are not only welcome, but celebrated. They give you, they hate you. They hate you so fucking much. Crazy. We are gonna never live this down, and they're gonna blame us. They're gonna say you fucking millennials didn't do enough to stop this. I tried, man. I tried. I gave up everything to warn people the danger of the pooner, the little Asian pooner. Okay. So, listen up. I stumbled upon this document organically, and I looked at it and I thought, I am not going to read all this. So I did what any good person would do who wanted to get to the bottom of a story, a breaking story, but did not want to read a 90-page long document. I uploaded it to Google's Notebook LM, and I listened to a 16-minute long NPR-style podcast by two AI-generated voices to explain to me what this is so I don't have to read it myself. And after listening to the NPR people talk about it, I think I have a pretty good understanding about what's written. And I'm not joking. That's actually what happened. Yes, this is 90 pages, but most of this is screenshots from Facebook where a guy's just being a dick. So this is the thing that I caution would be outside my usual realm, but by which I was going to go in, sword raised, and try to figure out what the fuck is happening, because I was tantalized by a little bit of drama, okay? This was a document called I Want to Share a Piece of Me for a Moment, and it was posted on Zitter by Fruit V Shoujo, a VTuber. Now, I have to be careful because she is a hardcore, you see what I mean? She's like a Coomer character. Has almost 500,000 followers and is official part of VShojo. She's a British girl from the United Kingdom. And this is her. This is her, but through so many filters, it genuinely looks like someone took a photograph of somebody and then painted her face to look completely different. This is what she looks like with less filters on, but still some filters. British is what I'm trying to say. She, when she was 19, I believe, was already married or was in a relationship with a guy who was deployed. And she cheated on him. Here's the bill of indictment from anime enjoyer Edgy But Dull. First, she cheated on her boyfriend while he was deployed, and then didn't even write him a letter to explain that she had cheated and would be dumping him. He just found out when he came home. During the Hogwarts Legacy shit show, which if you remember caused Pika-Me, like the really popular one, to want to commit seppuku, she was a part of the dogpilers that dogpiled on Pika-Me for playing the game. And then while she was getting harassed, she said something to the effect of, everyone makes mistakes, condemning the person for playing the fucking video game like a retard. Makes a tweet to donate to support gender-diverse children for every like the tweet gets. And it gets so many likes that she's compelled by her statements to donate $50,000 to a charity, which was mermaids, which if you don't know, there's a huge scandal in the United Kingdom where the mermaids were like fucking sex pest weirdos. They had tons of problems in their charity, but that's the one that she picked. And then there was never any confirmation whatsoever that she actually gave money to the charity. So it looks like she fucking lied. And despite being literally like a digital prostitute who's like a super progressive tranny lover, before she was popular, she was on K, and she was also dissing trannies. So when it was popular to bootstrap her career by appealing to the board K, which as a British person, I'm sure she has tons of rich gun culture in her family that she actively participates in and has a lot to contribute besides just being a digital prostitute. Once she became more popular and got signed, she dropped that and became a mermaid simp, I guess. So then she was in a relationship with her husband, and after she got dumped, and I don't know the exact details because it's not clearly documented anywhere. She then publishes "I Want to Share a Little Piece of Me for a Moment" document, alleging that he was a abuser, and her evidence for this was that they very vicariously or variously that he was emotionally cold to her, that he did not allow her to watch anime that had gay couples because she says that he didn't like gay people. So he says, stop watching that tranime shit. That's fucking gay. And she was like, oh no, I'm being gaslit and abused. And then there was something else. I'm trying to remember. He was basically just a dick to her, is what she was trying to say. And isolated her from her friends. But there's a bit of a conniving element to this. She calls him a gaslighter, and at some point she has like a trigger warning for sexual assault in this document. But the sexual assault incident was that she got groped in an airport in Sweden. So she went to an airport in Sweden and then got sexually assaulted by a stranger. Now I'll leave it up to you guys to imagine what that person might look like. She opts to not describe him at all. And then she says that he was not good about being there for her. And then at some point he says, well, I was there for you after you got sexually assaulted. And she says, well, he wasn't actually there for me. This is all, like I said, I listened to this in NPR style, and that's basically the gist of it. He didn't like that I watched an anime with a gay couple in it. And she says, no, I really want to watch this hyped up anime. I don't watch Yuri, so don't worry, I'm not going to turn gay. And he says, so you're just following the crowd. You're going to approve the fact that people think it's acceptable to have a mental disorder and find it amusing. She says, what the fuck? He says, did I confuse you, or do I need to break things further down for you? What's so confusing? Pointed out, you're going to approve the fact that people think it's acceptable to have a mental disorder. You think that gay people are normal. That's why you watch shit like Yuri. That's why you approve gay relationships and you find it entertainment. I don't see gayness as a mental order. I wasn't brought up that way. Show me on your body where the vagina from another woman is supposed to go, ? This is her banger evidence that he was a abuser. Oh, okay. The other thing that she says is that they got married, but he wanted to have a joint bank account, and she refused. Well, he wanted to have a joint bank account, I think, with her early on in the relationship, and she says that was him trying to gain financial control over her. And then she claims that she was not allowed to have friends, and that was when she was at a college dorm with 6 other university students, and they would throw house parties, and he asked that she did not go to the house parties with the anime club. So she says that he was socially isolating with her. Trying to join bank accounts that had just begun. Was still living with my parents. My mom was in control of my bank account at that time. He insisted that we join bank accounts. This was an early sign of abuse because the first time he tried to gain control over me, I went to run it by my mom first. When I declined, he took his frustration out on me. It's very weird that these are all like on Facebook. Was this like an internet marriage? Why are 100% of their conversations on Facebook? So then he was a dick to her on Facebook. You didn't read what I said. I'm not one to screenshot something. This is fucking stupid. It's hard. She's like taking things out of context, so it's hard to understand what they're arguing about. They're just like yelling. It's like nonsense. Okay, so. Oh, and then she kept saying that she didn't understand things because she's dyslexic. So he called her a retard, and she says that was verbal abuse because, I mean, you probably shouldn't call your wife a retard. I'm not gonna lie. But if she was using her dyslexia for why she couldn't understand anything being said. Maybe you guys should call each other instead of fucking having conversations over Facebook Messenger. He asked me to put on makeup when we video call, because I wasn't pretty enough without it. I was comfortable enough to be my human self around him before this, not wearing makeup, wearing PJs, not doing my hair. He would often call me ugly when I did this. There was times where he was around his friends and wanted me to video call, but I wasn't wearing makeup, and I was wearing a dressing gown, so I had just gotten out of bed. He told me to go put on makeup because I wasn't pretty enough for him. Apricot says, Blank has really high standards, told me to put on makeup when we video called because he wanted to talk to the pretty me. That was him venting to my brother about it. Well, there's no evidence for that. You could have just created this. I mean, if he's hanging around his friends, it would make sense that he's like, hey, get gussied up, put on clothes, so that I can show my friends that I am dating a hot babe. I don't know. Well, Blank dumped me. Want to chill in my room and sad emoji face. Why did he dump you, though? You did so much for him, crying O face. Our relationship was unhealthy and my depression just increased, which caused me to lose motivation in living. Apparently, I didn't do enough. It's a long distance. It's not a fucking real relationship if it's online. How are you married and you don't live together and you just talk over Facebook messaging? He compared me to his ex-wife. I mean, don't get me wrong. This guy is obviously like a fucking loser. Like, if you are in a relationship online and you don't make that shit physical within 6 months, it's over. You're never going to tie the knot. You're never going to have a real relationship. I mean, she says that she was married to him, but is there like a picture of them together at all? Is there like a picture of, have they ever met? How did they get married on 2 different continents and they've never fucking met each other? This is not a real relationship. And she posted this, and I can't even find it because it's just porn on her fucking account. But it's like, she posted this and got tens of thousands of upvotes and for a relationship that ended. And this guy has no internet presence. And he has no way to defend himself. And apparently they've never fucking met. So what the... Just block him. Just block him. Right-click his username on Discord and press the divorce Discord daddy button. And then you'll... and then he's gone. He's gone forever. And if he tries to fuck with you on Twitter, then you can post your documentary or whatever the fuck. But bizarre. There might be an explanation for this, by the way. Of course, this person is an adult, so we can make fun of her for publicizing a 90-page documentary about her Facebook boyfriend. But here's the other thing that was discovered last second, because I asked the VTuber thread, I'm like, what the fuck is happening with this? Can someone explain this to me? Somebody passingly mentioned this, like, oh yeah, by the way, her mom is like her biggest simp on Zitter and actively defends her on the internet. I'm like, sorry, can you repeat that? This is the mother of Litra's Apramum, because her name is Apricot, so she's Apramum. She's active on Twitter and is a reply guy in her her replies, defending her and white knighting her. And there's 3 particular things that people had sent me that I found funny. So this is an example of her tweets. Ready? This is her mother replying to people on Twitter defending her digital VTuber prostitute on the internet. To all the little keyboard warriors / lowercase I internet trollers / 4chan plonkers, I'm working my way around to replying to you all, but if I don't, be assured Twitter deemed your tweet to be so insignificant I didn't even get a notification. Oh, when you get schooled by Apramum, all you can do is hit block, crawl back under your 4chan shaped rock. Asahi Kaiku says, you cheated your husband. Karma is a bitch, huh? Fucking retard. She says, using the R word. Really? That's all you got, you tool? Crying, laughing. How about you stop trying to troll with the big boys? Bringing out you saved screenshots from years ago, you weirdo. Sad fact, it's easier to put up with lies, trolls, and idiots than the truth. I could annihilate and crush a man with the truth in one tweet, but I won't. Not today, anyways. Smirking. Tweet of me looking at ex-husband. Loser. I'm hoping my tweets are being screenshot too and saved in a little weirdo file on their PC. Even better, sent to G.I. Joe himself, referring to the man that she cheated on while he was deployed. This is from last year, January last year, by the way. So she's been around doing this continuously for at least 2 years, since November 2022. And then I think this was in response to the GoFundMe scam thing, the tranny scam. But her mom showed up again to defend her on the internet. We're playing. This is furthers my opinion that anyone who uses Giphy images to react to things is like a low IQ mongoloid. It's fucking nonsense. But this is something that she took credit for. This guy called Aunt Hemi, and then of course it has to have CH at the end because otherwise it's not a VTuber related thing. Aunt Hemi made a video about apricot, and it's 40 minutes long. So her mother went onto the internet and reported his Discord and Twitter accounts and got them both banned, and she took credit for it. Today is a good day. Laughing, crying emoji. Let's just say these reports are all the same account and they all say the same thing. Account suspended. And then she posts we have an update on your report. And then someone says, was it a certain insect? Yep, that's good. Hopefully you and Fruit can breathe a little easier. I heard even her Discord was nuked. Fruit definitely never lost any sleep over her. Me, on the other hand, I had to get her canceled for entertainment value, laughing crying face. Yes, the Discord got nuked too, laughing crying face. Cool, I'm glad you like harassing younger people and making a game out of it, but has your daughter donated the $55,000 to charity yet? At least I'd never cheat on my spouse. Can't say the same thing for your daughter. So, this hoe is like a serial philanderer. Like one of those chameleons who's like anti-tranny when appealing to K, pro-tranny when appealing to Twitch, willing to publish 90-page long documents about her own personal life to try and tarnish her husband's reputation, even though they never even fucking met, apparently. And then has her literal mommy, go out and report people on the internet to get their Twitter accounts suspended and Discord accounts banned. British people, anime people, there's something fucking wrong with them. Whole island should be fucking nuked. Never date a British girl. She'll suck a black dick when you're on deployment. Don't know what else to say to that. I hope you guys have enjoyed the flamenco segment where I pretend to know anything about VTubers. I know a little bit about how weird it is that somebody's mom is on Twitter reporting shit for you. That's a bit fucking weird. If that was literally anyone else, like imagine if Blowblax's mom, speaking of, we'll talk about him in a second, but imagine if his mom was out like reporting Discord accounts and shit. Like why is it even remotely acceptable? Why is it not like something that her fans, her fans are all like gooner trannies and fucking goon clowns and shit. So I suppose it doesn't matter what she's up to, but it should be like career suicide to be that much of a fucking parasite. Okay, and I did mention Blowblax, and that's because this is the other big drama thing that people are really chattering about. And this is another thing that I took a lot of time out to try and understand. Because there's the sector that we all know and love, and then there's like the kids club version of the sector, which is like the YouTube commentary community, and that's like Turkey Tom and that Augie RFC guy, and then Nick the Oreo and Tommy C and Keemstar is like the Medicare of Bizarro World sector, okay? And Then Blowblax and Tipster was like in the sector too. Who would Tipster be? Who is somebody who would be the sector's tipster? Because Tipster is the tipster of the kids club. But what's the tipster of the real sector? Has to be somebody who's fat and spineless and then turncoat to the other side at some point. Flamenco. That's a pretty good one. Mundane Matt. Ooh. Yeah, that's right. Tipster's like the mundane Matt of the kids club. That's a good one. I like that. Someone needs to start making we need it was somebody, by the way, posted some tweets from the MC Jarbo account. The MC Jarbo guy is like in a state of unrest. He's moving or something. He's making like a big life change. Maybe I should commission like Kiwi Farms albums from him. I'll give him some money. I'm like, look, I need like a tipster song about him. I need like a tipster love album, romance album directed at Kefals. That's what I need from you, MC Jarbo. And then we can Monday Night him. It'll be funny. Um. Anyways, okay, yes. So the kids club had convened a meeting, and I suppose this was like a. Actually, we said that Tipster was Mundane Matt, but Blowblax was getting like his own Mundane Matt Boulder stream. So they convened a cool kids club on RG RFC's stream, and he has been gone for like a year or something. So he made like a triumphant return stream, and he's talking about Blowblax's mental breakdown, which I talked about on Tuesday. So to not reiterate too much, Blowblax is like a lefty tranny cocksucker, kind of like the VTuber I just talked about, like a parasite with no actual values. And he was having a mental breakdown because despite being like a cyberbully himself, people were making fun of him. So he literally went to the hospital and took medication. He was prescribed some sort of anti-anxiety pill so that he could stop having an obsessive hatred over Tommy C. And the stop hating Tommy C pills is probably one of the funniest things I've ever talked about on this stream ever for any reason. So he gets on the pills, but the cool kids are still mad at him because he lied about having BPD. He tried to be like, well, you can't hold me accountable for anything that I've done because I have BPD. And then he comes out and he says, well, actually, I'm not really diagnosed with BPD, and I just kind of thought I had it, so I lied and said that. So they were trying to say, like, well, you're basically like Boogie because you're lying about having a disease to try and explain away certain behaviors that you've had. And it was a 5 hour long, literally like 5 fucking hours of mostly Nick DeOreo and Blowblax talking about how he's a pretender. And I'm gonna make a declarative statement that I don't usually make because people usually say like, Josh, do you think that XYZ is a lolcow? And it's like, well, you know, a lolcow is somebody that people want to talk about, really. So it's not like the Kiwi Farms or I in particular have a effective duty in declaring who is not a lolcow. I reject that position. However, I will extend my personal opinion. I think that Blowblax is a lolcow, and the reason why is because he had a very pathetic display where for 5 hours he just kind of rolled onto his back and allowed the cool kids to take turns kicking him while he was on his back, saying like, "Oh, woo, I just wanted to have a good game, have a good time." Woo, hoo, hoo. And it's like that pathetic display where it's like, you were on the fucking internet talking shit. You were making fun of me, trying to say that my tweets sound like motherfucking Sephiroth, when that's just white eloquence. And then when the cool kids all make fun of you, you're gonna let them like line up to just kick you in the fucking ribs over and over again. You're going to let Audrey make $2,000 roasting you for 5 hours. You're going to let Nick DeOreo shit on you and all over your face and call you a fucking liar to your face. You're going to let Turkey Tom show up in a clown mask and make fun of you for another hour. You're going to let Keemstar come on after you. Actually, he left when Keemstar was showing up. I don't know why. I would do the same thing, but Keemstar shows up and he makes fun of him too. And then even the tipster shows up. The fat man himself, the Queen Kafal's worshiper, the toilet seat for the throne, shows up and calls him a faggot, which is really out of character. And It's like what's your major malfunction? Why don't you have any audacity? I don't understand. It's the thing that it is the thing like Monday Matt did though, where Monday Matt was just on the Boulder stream, and he was allowing these people all to make fun of him. And he offered no defense or no excuse. He just kind of like owed up to it. He's like, yeah, I was in a bad headspace and stuff. I had my panic attack. I took some medication. I'm getting referred to a psychiatrist because I'm not in a good place, and I owe up to it. It's just like, what's the point of like this internet groveling shit? Like, why are you groveling for the respect of these people who don't fucking like you? I don't understand. But that's like a very locale thing. Is this thing where it's like it's the simultaneous dissonance in wanting two different positions at once. Wanting A, to be pitied and forgiven of the fuck ups that you've done, and then also wanting to be respected and held in esteem as like a virtuous person. And when like Wings of Redemption was at his worst, he did the exact same thing. And Boogie is the master of this. Boogie is the probably the worst one when it comes to the point where I would call this like the Boogie gambit, where it's like if someone comes at you and he's like, and Wings does this too. They both do this thing. But if someone comes at Boogie and they're like, they got him on something, he'll roll over and he'll be like, well, I was in a bad headspace and my cancer bills was really stressing me out and I'm so sad and shit. But then if you really like start making fun of him, like, wow, that sounds like you're a sad sack piece of shit. Maybe you should like fucking hang yourself, you fat cunt. He's like, actually, bro, I'm doing pretty good. My whole life, I got my whole life ahead of me. My health's on the up and up. I've lost weight because of my surgery. I may not be at the height as I am right now, but I have my house and I have my assets. It's like you can't do both. You can't do the I'm so sad, woe is me, oh you gotta understand. And then when you get like actually made fun of, you start like growing a fucking spine and being like, no, actually I got my whole shit together. And Boogie and Wings both do this thing. And I think that is like one of the most quintessential locale traits, is someone who tries the pity party and then also tries the ego up shit. And it's like it doesn't work. Like you have to pick one. Are you like a sad, pathetic piece of shit, or are you like a cool guy that doesn't do anything wrong? Um yeah, DSP does it too. Um who's the no Boogie and Wings are like the really, really big ones. I loathe Boogie because he's obviously bullshitting most of the time and pretends he has issues he doesn't even have. Yeah, but I mean, it's like a liar thing. Yeah, it's like I think it's like a manipulation tactic that some people. What it probably is, and this might someone mentioned Ricada. He doesn't do it as much. He's very rare to show his underside. He like ego ups a lot. Rarely does he do the I was in a bad headspace shit where he shows his ass. And if he really starts doing that, he's down bad. But I think it's probably a manipulation tactic that works well in one-on-ones. Like maybe if it's kind of like when you have like a piece of metal wire or what's that thing that it's like a piece of metal, a soldering wire. You know how like it's soft and malleable, but if you start like twisting it back and forth, it like breaks. It gets hot and it breaks off. It's probably like that. Like if you're talking to somebody one on one, and you move back and forth really fast. People can't figure out what the fuck you're doing, and they just like disconnect or accept like a truce or whatever, and they go away and they leave you alone. Like for people like Boogie and Wings, that tactic probably works really well in those situations. But when you're online and people have the freedom to like not look at you and take a breather or go to Twitter and search something that they think you said in the past, and they can like in real time call you out on your shit, or they can look at the chat and be reminded of something. It doesn't work at all. So it's like I think it's like a manipulator thing, like a gaslighting thing that becomes natural to people who have learned to lie as like a maladaptive tactic in their youth. But then when they're adults, and especially when they get exposed to the internet where people can call them on shit in real time, it becomes like a quintessential locale trait. It works with their family, so they try it on the internet. Yeah, exactly like that. Boogie will say whatever he thinks is necessary for you not to see him as a total piece of shit. Yeah, that's really obvious in particular with the, God, there was that stream that I did way back when with Ralph, and I think Metacritic was on it, and it was like a crate, this was like a peak kill stream day. It was like a really anything, you don't know what's going to happen on the kill stream kind of day, back when Ralph was at his total zenith. But it was like a normal stream, and then out of nowhere, Boogie joins. And then because Boogie's on it, then Metacritic and Keemstar want to get on it. And Boogie is like appealing to this right-leaning audience in like the 2016 era during Trump, when people were getting super edgy, before the censorship cracked down really hard during the Trump administration. But he came on and he said something about how he was like conservative, and he made like a bunch of like Hitler jokes, and he called himself like Der Uberwolf 1488 or something, because that was Uberwolf was like his Warcraft handle. He made like he came on like a totally different person, super confident, and played to that audience really well. And then he goes back to his actual Twitch stream, and all of his like fans at the time that liked his streaming content as like the fat pathetic Boogie saw him appeasing these right-wingers on this podcast, and he did like a total 180, and he apologized for everything. And it was like really crazy to see him like flip. So I even remember asking him like, where is this Boogie? Like, when you're out there and you're like doing your shit, why aren't you like this all the time? And he's like, well, this is the real Boogie. This is how I am. You only see like the clips of me. You only see things taken out of context. And it kind of sounded true. It's like, how can you be so different from my conception of you? And the answer is because he was lying. He was lying because that was the audience that he was trying to appease. And if it was like a private thing, or if he was on like a stage, like a venue, or in like a group of people at like a conference and not being filmed, then you couldn't really compare and contrast that with anything. But then when he immediately gets called out on it by his existing audience on Twitch, it's like he has to backtrack everything. It's like, oh, I get it. You're just a total piece of shit. I got you. Understand. Okay, there's a spammer. Which one is that? Is that one? Oh, the mods got him. I got you. Cool. There is actually... Oh, I didn't read any of this. I just kind of explained it and then went off into my head. So this was like what led up to it, like right before the podcast. Pennyform says, in defense of Blowblax, it can be really hard to know what the proper thing to say is, I'm being treated for suspected enteric condition because they believe that I have it, and I'm doing tests that confirm, especially in the moment when you're being fully regulated. Because in offense to Blowblax, correcting that a month and a half later in the middle of a new controversy on the fly isn't ideal. This also occurred a week after Boogie was exposed for doing something with cancer diagnosis, to the point where Blowblax seems to take some of his own accountability for his adult self. The weird thing about the cool kids is that they're like safe edgy, like all of them. Turkey Tom is the most obvious one, but like they get like, it's sort of this weird thing where they have to call out Blowblax using like politically correct words. You can't just call him like a lying retard, faggot, because that's what he is. Because he'll get like offended and he'll flag your channel, and then you'll lose all your YouTube money. So they have to like call him out in this way where it's like, actually the lie that you're telling about BPD is really offensive to like BPD people and people suffering from like the mental health conditions. And like, it's really good that you're taking steps to like better yourself and to seek help for your mental state. But it's really unacceptable and problematic for you to say that you do have BPD when you don't have a diagnosis for it, because you can cause harm to the people that are suffering with that condition. It's like, back in my day, I'm old. I'm 30-something now. I'm turning 32 this year. But back in my day, we used to just say, shut up, you retarded faggot. Nobody gives a fuck. And that was the end of it. But now to be clear, when you go through that whole diatribe about mental health and shit, you're just saying that. That's what you're saying. Like, I know what you're saying. It's not clever. It's like, how do we say, shut up, go away, you dumb fag, and turn that into something that you can say on YouTube? And it goes like, I think that you need to take a break. You need to take a step back, and you need to reevaluate your situation. And then, maybe go on a mental health hiatus, but then, come back and do things that are not involving the bully streams that I actually pay attention to, like something outside in like a safer area of YouTube. Because it's really just not okay. It's like, okay, shut up, go away, you dumb fag. Gotcha. Let's unpack this. That's right. Released DMs and shit where he was talking about his momentals and shit. I got 2 clips.
So okay, this is a question that I think a lot of the chat wanted to know.
I want to say that this was Nick Dorio talking. No, I think the guy with the Urgoth avatar is Nick Dorio. I don't know who this guy is. And Aji is the one on the top right. I don't know who the guy with the...
And fun question for me. When's the last time you did coke?
With Andy Worski, that one line.
Wait.
Or not Andy Worski.
Wait,
fucking what is it? Dick Masterson.
Wait. Oh my god!
I was getting the jokes confused. You know,
I thought Andy was kidding.
No. Vito and Dick Masterson
okay, not Andy Worski.
Tried one line. Like everybody tried it, but I only tried one line because I didn't.
Sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I heard that you did a bunch of coke and then you played Sonic the Hedgehog on your Switch. Is that true?
No, I snorted the coke and then I debated Vito on Mr. Girl.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's accurate. I think he showed up in LA and he hung out with Juju and Vito the Pedo, and he did coke with them. And then Blowblax got into I don't know where he would talk to Vito. It's either The Biggest Problem or it's the Dax's main show. But then has an argument about Mr. Girl, who's obviously a pedophile, but Juju the Cow and Vito support him. Vito is long-term friends with Max Carson, a.k.a. Mr. Girl, a.k.a. pedophile. So they took his side. Blowblax did not, but he did do coke. So, So that's how Dick gets his friends, I guess. And this is the tipster bit.
Nice. It was nice to have a one-night truce.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, I'm gonna head out. See you later, faggots.
Whoa! What the fuck?
Wait, was he fake? Was he fake?
Tipster showed up unexpectedly because he hates all of these people, and he doesn't do drama content like he used to. Like, Tipster used to be a knockoff Tommy C. Just to give you a concept of what his peak was, it was never very high. But he was a member of the Cool Kids Club, and he was like safe, edgy boy, and he did like drama content. And then absolutely everybody made fun of him for being a tranny sucking faggot. So he became like super safe. And I think he's mostly doing like video game content now or some shit. It's like really insipid, not even funny bad kind of content. And then he gets invited on the stream and then says, "Goodbye, faggots." And that like makes everybody laugh and shock because number one, God damn it, now we have to censor the video so that the word faggot doesn't show up on YouTube. And then they're also like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that tipster said that." So the tipster came in and took shots at Blowblax is the main point. Let's see. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Keem came on. Keem was annoying. I hate Keem. Keem is like somebody who is like viscerally obnoxious to me. I can't stand him. Anytime that he's on anything, it's like a degree. And it's so weird how they have like this reverence for him. Like, oh my God, Keemstar wants one. But we know that once Keem arrives, it becomes the Keemstar show. So let's wait a second. And then they keep Keem on like red while they talk to him, and then they finally let him on. It's just like, I wanted to talk to Blowblax myself on stream. It's kind of weird because he's like 40 something. Keem is old, and he's still like doing this thing where he like shows up to talk to people like half his fucking age. Like, how old is like Turkey Tom and Audrey? They're like 20 something, right? They're literally half his age. But he's like the coolest kid on the playground because he's old enough to have his own car. He's like a little bit too old for this group of people, but he stays like super connected to it. And I think the reason why is like his old like drama friends. Like, I think Tommy C used to work directly for Keem in various capacities and then work for him on the Locale Live podcast. So he like knows them through Tommy. And then like stays involved because it's like safe, edgy drama for him to farm on the Drama Alert show. Keem is 42. Keem ruins every stream he shows up in. Keem is like bizarrely he never feels like he belongs, like in any conversation that he talks in. And if you ever watch old clips of Keem where he's like mediating something, when he starts like pulling out like a popcorn tub and like eating into the mic as people are like talking about stuff, I just want to punch him in the fucking face. Like, how the fuck can you be so possibly deliberately obnoxious and shit? It's always just rubbed me the wrong way, Chuck. Josh, aren't you in your 30s? Yeah, but I don't talk to kids. I don't like show up on their pod. I don't like demand like, hey, kids, let me onto your stream. I want to talk to Blowblax. I'm gonna settle this. I'm the coolest fucking monkey in this jungle. Let me on. Let me on your stream. I'm gonna farm this. I just talk about stuff. I'm allowed to talk about stuff. No, it's true though. Like a 21-year-old is like a kid. Nobody is a person until they're 24. I believe that the age of consent should be 24. Anyone below the age of 24 should be banned from alcohol, drugs, sex, pornography, and anime. You're not older before you're 24. You do not have the mental capacity to handle any of these dangerous concepts. Okay. Boomer, I'm right. You'll understand one day. You'll understand that anyone below 24 is literally not worth talking to as like a peer. You know, I don't even have this lined up, but there's a oh god, who the fuck was it? There was like it was Robert Kennedy, the guy that ran for president and has like the really fucked up voice. He got a message from the New York Magazine editor that was doing a person piece on him. And they had like an emotional affair in like Twitter DMs over years. And then she came out and said that he had like taken advantage of her because he was twice her age. Because Robert Kennedy is like 70 something. And it's like, bitch, you're 31. You're 31 years old. What do you mean he took advantage of you? At what age do you become an independent adult capable of your own thoughts and actions? Like... What the fuck do you mean? Like if she was like 20 and this was like going to be her breakout piece and he like kept like gating access behind sex, like maybe there's a point there, but you're 31, you're an established journalist, you have your career already. What the fuck do you mean he took advantage of you and that there was a power discrepancy between you? Fuck off. Even feminazi Josh can't extend a fucking stretch that far. That's crazy. As a 31-year-old, I'm very much in this part of my life. Myself, again, a 31-year-old, same fucking age. I never feel like I would. I'm not personally responsible for the shit that I do. Robert, stop Kennedying. He's married, by the way. He had to apologize. That's fucking terrible. Like, to have to tell your wife, yeah, I know we've been, like, how he's that fucked up boy. He's like, I know we've been married for 40 years, but when this mid-Jewish girl from the New York Magazine said, let's see where this goes, I was like, okay. That's not really a conversation you want to have when you're entering your 4th decade of marriage. Such a laugh. Okay, that's enough of this. We're out of the cool kids club and into the really cool kids club. Austin Curtis Peterson. I had mentioned on my last stream that a warrant for the arrest of BossmanJack had been issued by the central... what's his district? He's like in this... Greene County. He's in the same fucking county as Christian. Or like a neighboring county. But, a warrant had been issued. He had bond violations. And it was expected, because he had a meeting with his parole officer that week, that he would be arrested at, his bond hearing. Or like at his, what would you call it? The guy that checks your pee-pee, the pee-pee man. He was going to meet the pee-pee man to talk about his pee-pee. And You know that fat fucking cunt, Music Biz Barney, the guy that constantly swats people like Chantel? He called a wellness check on Bossman, thinking that once the police arrived, they'd arrest him because he has an outstanding warrant, and they didn't get arrested. So I don't know why the fuck Music Biz Barney is not in jail. Like, they need to do something with him. The parole officer, that's it. So it was expected that he would be arrested at his parole meeting, and he was. Bossman is in the Central Virginia jail, regional jail, which is you may recognize that jumpsuit, as stated previously. That is the same jumpsuit that Chris Chan wore. Same jail, same mugshot facility. He's in jail. He's facing a difficult situation, okay? In case you're wondering, he is a convicted felon. He got convicted for burglary. He pled guilty, and as a part of his guilty plea, he received a 5-year suspended sentence, which means that as long as he did not break the law, he would not go to jail. Bossman has broken the law, and he has been posted on bond, on recognizance, and as explained before, the thing that he recognized is that he would stay sober, and he would consent to pee tests, and he did not stay sober. He almost immediately started doing crack again, and then failed his pee test, probably multiple times. And then on top of that, he missed an appointment with his PO, so he didn't show up. So they probably were going to pull him in and say, like, hey, you're failing tests, and I'm going to give you one more chance, one more failed pee test, and then you're going back to jail, buddy. You're going to fail. And he didn't show up to that meeting. So it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do with you? You're pissing hot, you're pissing dirty, and you're not showing up to our meetings where we can talk about the status of your bond. So I can't even give you a second chance because you're not showing up. So they arrested him. I actually asked a Virginia attorney who may or may not have been the prosecuting attorney for Greene County at some point, which is the person that sends people to this jail. I said, quick question. If someone is 5 years suspended in VA and gets arrested for a similar charge, then breaks bond on that charge, do they get the rest of the 5 years or the entire 5 years? I.e., if you get sentenced to 5 years and then 4.5 years in, you break the terms of your suspended sentence and go back to jail, do you get half a year or do you get 5 years? The Virginia guy says, the judge will reimpose the entire 5 years, parentheses guaranteed, but then 98% of the time, they will resuspend a huge chunk. Usually a first probation violation results in 3 to 6 months active time. So the judge, as with the Rekieta case, the judge has a wide berth, not to be confused with a wide berth like Patrick Tomlinson. They have a pretty serious range of what they can convict for. If he wants, he can just suspend the sentence again. Or give him half a year in jail, or he can give him 5 years of time, which is a lot. So he might be really. It depends on how much of a kiss ass he is. And Austin, when he gets into a bad situation and he has to like really suck ass, he's not above that. He doesn't have the ego where he if he's down bad, really bad, he's going to be like, I'm a hard nigga and shit. You fucking with me? Who the fuck you think you is? I'm BossmanJack, bish, motherfucker. Like, Ralph is like a retard like that. But with Austin, when he's down bad, he'll get the tears going. So he might get loose time. But he is a convicted felon. He is on suspended sentence. He did violate probation. And he did violate bond. So there are multiple things going here against his thing. And the judge is probably going to give him a couple years, I feel, because it's like, you're a repeat offender. You're getting up there in age now, buddy. You got to turn your shit around there. You're just going to keep going back to jail over and over again. So Local Supreme wrote this post explaining what the conditions are like inside a jail, because I guess Local Supreme is either a corrections officer or a felon. I will assume that he's a corrections officer. He says there There's talk about Bossman in his cell, etc. He is a low-scoring violent offender, so he will be placed in the violent offender dorm housing and not in an individual 2-person cell. He is also not in a cell block like you see in the movies. That's prison. They have another dorm that's almost the same for non-violent offenders. This is very close to what accommodations he will have. The bags hanging at the end of the bed are laundry. There are totes or lock boxes under the bed, each one for each inmate. He may or may not have windows. Wow, windows are a luxury, chat. There are also beds in the middle of the room as well. And before you call top bunk, the top bunk is the bitch's bunk. When the bottom bunk inmate moves out, you will see everyone clamoring to be relocated. The reason why is the bottom bunk you can sit with your feet on the floor, and you can get up whenever you want. You can also reach your stuff. The guy on the top bunk will get his shit beat if he hangs his feet down in the face of the bottom bunk. He will also get bitched out if he keeps shaking the bunk from getting up and down. As you can see, there are no ladders. This individual looks like he can use his foot locker to try and get up. Some just have plastic totes you can't stand on and have to press yourself up against the bunk. Bottom bunk won't like you stepping on their shit. If you think, well, the mattress looks comfy, they are not. They are cheap and worn out patio furniture cushions, and that's when they are new. Underneath them are hard steel mesh or solid steel metal to hold you up and prevent your bunkmate from stabbing you in the back while you sleep. They may also not have chairs in this room at all. You literally spend all day in your bunk, unless it's to get up and go to the shared bathroom at the end of the dorm, or go to the rec outside of the room. If everyone's being chill, the CO might allow people to mingle around the room to play cards and talk. Depending on the facility, you may get your meals delivered to the dorm, and then you eat them in your bunk as well. I'm not sure if the Central Virginia Regional has a dining facility. What's in the foot lockers or totes under the bed? Your clean clothes, your shoes, your commissary, which will include food you purchased, hygiene items, stationery cards, and any letter or paperwork you have. Some places allow you to lock. Most people do not. And then there's an explanation about laundry. So, Bossman going to jail and end an era of BossmanJack. Truly sad, depressing, heart-wrenching, stomach churning, nauseating. How could this happen? He didn't do anything wrong. Sure, he gambled. Sure, he smoked crack. Sure, he destroyed his room. Sure, he punched his father. But who hasn't? Who hasn't? Let he who has not smoked a little crackarooski crack rock cast the first stone. Who's really the monster here, chat? Not Bossman. Not Bossman. I hated that nigga, not gonna lie. Fuck you too, bish, motherfucker. Okay, I have Reddit. Let's read that. I'm surprised it lasted this long. It did ramble quite a bit. This was suggested by Wishcash. It sounded interesting, so I'm going to read it blind. Let's go. This is in No Stupid Questions by a throwaway account. How do people smell so good so consistently? I'm a dude. My hygiene schedule is as good as anyone else's, but I can't shake the thought that I still smell bad. I shower daily, bathe 3 times a week, 2 types of deodorant daily, body mist whenever going out. The second I start sweating, though, it gets terrible. Do people have scented creams or something? I'm going to take a guess. This guy is Indian. Answering some questions. 1. Yes, I wash my ass. 2. Each shower is vigorous. I lather my entire body in Dove bar soap and scrub with a loofah, let it sit for a bit, then get back under the water. 3. I'm vegetarian. I wonder what kind of food he eats, chat. You think he eats their little curry? You think so? I don't smoke or drink. I'm 18. I'm underweight. I notice the smell after morning jogs. I know how dumb the second part sounds. It's just I'm worried that my sweat smells bad because it implies that I'll always smell bad during summer or other heated activities. 6. I'm Indian. Wait, hold up. I need the thing. There we go. I'm Indian. Oh my god. I can't believe it. Who saw this coming? And then he says in all caps, the smell can't be a race thing, right? 7. It's likely my diet, but I don't eat much Indian food, and I still notice even when I'm in college with only American food. 8. I also notice the smell after sitting in one spot for a while. And 9. The 2 types of deodorant is 1 stick deodorant for the pits, 2 sprays for privates. Okay, so there's an old Disney movie called Holes, and it's a really good movie. It kind of has like a woke plot to it, but I mean it's 90s, so it's like it's still well done. It's a decent movie. But there's a subplot where the kid's dad, the main character's dad, is trying to create like a foot odor spray. In particular, there's a like a basketball player called Sweet Feet who has really, really terrible foot fungus. And there's also like a weird theme in the book and the movie about onions. And he accidentally tries onion in his recipe for like foot fungus removal, and it works. And he finds a way. By the end of the movie, after the literal gypsy curse is lifted, he finds a way to purify shoes and feet using like his onion spray, and he makes $1 million trillion doing this. Right now, there are top Indian minds working around the clock to try and solve the mystery of how to cure Indian body odor. There is some kid on a mountain somewhere under a gypsy curse. Or I don't know, what's the equivalent of a gypsy in India? Like a Nepalese curse, a Bhutanese curse, a Pakistani curse, a Bangladeshi curse. Oh, you don't want one of those. And as soon as he can lift this curse, his Indian father will figure out what anti-curry ingredient will cancel out the Indian BO so that Indians can further participate in Western society. It'll be one of the most like prolific inventions of our time. Every Indian person will have the Sweet Feet cure to their smell sitting in their pocket. Top Indians. Subplot of American Beauty. What? No, it's holes, bro. Gypsies, they originated in India. Okay, well there you go. That explains the wagon wheels, I guess. And I guess that's it. I suppose now I'll read. Wait a second, chat. What is this? Why has the news hamster approached? Chat, the news hamster would like to pass along a piece of information that he thinks you might find interesting. The time currently is 7:46 p.m. and this stream has been going on for 1 hour and 46 minutes. You know what this means, chat? It means that 2 people have been raped in London. A rape offense report is reported every hour in London, according to data obtained by the BBC. More than 8,800 rape incidents were reported to the Metropolitan Police Department in 2023, an average of 24 per day. Charities have called the findings horrifying, but say the true extent of sexual offending will be far higher. The Met says it remains determined to tackle sexual violence and is striving to do better, a magic keyword of our decade, and that the number of rape charges has more than doubled since 2022. Damn, son. I wonder what it is about London. God, what could it be? What's in London that's like so like that's making all this rape happen, Chad? Does anyone know? Anyone want to? That's a lot of rape. 2 rapes in this stream runtime. God. Even if you're listening in the future, if you're listening to this in 2028, it's going to be like 8 rapes have happened if you listen to this entire VOD. It's crazy, Chad. What could it possibly be? Thank you, News Hamster. We got to stay informed, chat. We got to stay informed, and the News Hamster keeps us informed. Oh, fuck, I fucked up. There it is. Okay. So, that aside, now I can actually do the super chats. Okay. Lalanthia for 5 says, GigaChat XLR user, also check your phantom power settings. I mean, if I press the phantom power button on my thing, it just turns off. Watch. Hello? See, you can't hear anything. Space Allen for 20 says, Ham Jam. Thank you, Space Allen. I appreciate it. Kurt Eichenwald, anime masturbator for 5 says, Glorious Gateway Emperor. I get a little misty reading the comments under the Gachimuchi Haruyo remix. Don't do it, bros. Aniki would have wanted us to live for Aniki, bros. I have not a fucking clue what that means. TB Deluxe for 2. Wait, isn't Gachimuchi like the gay Asian sex thing from like Twitch? That's weird. That's a weird comment. DB Deluxe for 2 says, assembling a team to Prison Break the Bossman. We've got a locksmith, alarm expert, and master of disguise. All we need now is a pizza addict that is constantly late and gay. I might know somebody for the job. He might be willing to do it too, for the good cause. My hamster is a turf for 1 says, move to Alaska, the state with the most favorable bear to churn ratio. You know, Alaska has the highest rape statistic in the entire country. It's because there's more, like 8 times more men than women or something. I guess it's really weird. There's also lots of Inuits. I'm sure they're rapey. Coley Dante for 5 says, a lot of people are blaming Musk for a Brazilian tin-pot dictator having a spurg out because he can't lean on Twitter to prosecute political dissidents. Well, I mean, in their mind, it's like, well, misinformation is anti-democracy, and if you don't defend democracy, then it's not. Saying bad things about democracy is actually not freedom of speech, actually. Just so you know. News Hammy 69 for 2 says, what are the similarities between a hamster and an anti-vaxxer's kids? They both only live for 5 years. A contentious opinion. Now, Coy Dante for 5 says, most enemy combatants will bomb you for free. Israel makes you buy the bombs. That's why they make so much fucking money. That's why they have a surplus in their budget, bro. Sneedberg Stein Goldman for $50 says, happy pizza day. Thank you. Finally some recognition. Appreciate it. Crispy Legs for 10 says, happy Friday. I can't listen live, so hope you have a good show and there aren't too many technical issues. LOL. Yeah, well, I don't know what I did to fix my mic. As I said, I threw it into the shadows and there's no electrical interference from God fucking knows what. Thank you. Patrick S. Tomlinson for 2 says, person stream on Mr. Girlwin, I would rather fucking die. He's just a boring pedophile and he likes attention. Canada is American soil for 2 says, India should take their own lowercase I internet and fuck off. I agree, that'd be based. Stalker Child Enjoy Prison for 5 says, any opinion on salty licorice? I've picked up a taste for Katya's Satsiga Henrega recently. Licorice is the best flavor in the entire world. Are you referring to... Hold up. Let me show you something real quick. No, I'm not joking. I'm not fucking around right here. I've shown this on stream before, so you know I'm not joking. This chocolate is from Finland. And it is my favorite chocolate. If I had any kind of option to have any chocolate right now, it would be this. That black in the picture is licorice. That is a licorice syrup that is inside every bite. Kind of like how you would expect caramel in like a British chocolate. That is licorice. And it is tasty, chat. It's real fucking good. You should buy it and eat it. And if you cringe, if you recoil from the delicious Finnish licorice chocolate, you're weak. You're weak, and I pity you. And while you're out there, actually, you know what else is really, really good? Let's say that I was going to have a drink right now. You know what I would have? Jägermeister. The original German black licorice liqueur, chat. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. And you know what? I would drink it while eating my chocolate, chat. You gotta embrace the licorice and the vinegar. These are the flavors that make a man, that separates you from the wheat from the chaff, okay? Okay. Humble Guardsman for 5 says, for every enemy without, there are 100 within. The Emperor protects. Bro, I'll never understand your Warhammer references. I'm sorry. Ballistic Characteristic for 10 says, great stream. I'm glad you think so. Thank you. Red Eyes Black Dragon for 2 says, I still can't believe that black guy wants to marry white girl's farts. Or white guy's farts. I don't know what happened to him. He disappeared. I remember looking him up. I got bored on an episode of Maddie like years ago. And I tried to hunt him down. And he didn't post that much. So I don't know if maybe they put him on anti-white guy farts medication. Maybe they can give that to Blowblax too. Kumpala for 10 says, the P. Diddler story has really blown up. We need a lawyer to cover this story. If only there was a wholesome lawyer in Minnesota to cover that story, to disseminate the info for us. Yeah, apparently P. Diddy had like a whole like collection of blackmail. So they put him in the suicide unit so that they can kill him later. But I've not been following it too closely because it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, nothing's going to change. Doesn't matter what it is. You could literally have video evidence of Barack Obama raping a child in the ass and people would just say it's AI and nothing matters. Thank you. Banana Plugs for 1 says, Happy Pizza Day, Josh. You are my favorite non-Slav always. Thank you. Wow, what a high bar. I appreciate it. Shishkiss, it's hard to read. Shishkiss for 5 says, Jerish, did you hear that Lucy Letby, the baby killer nurse from Boghnistan, got legal representation from an affiliate of O.J. Simpson's Jewish legal team? Probably going to bail her out. Hashtag Suffabongs. Hashtag Free BMJ. I did not hear that. I did not even know that there was a baby killer in Boghnistan. Or maybe I did at some point. I just forgot. Sounds about right, though. Guy Safari for 5 says, I had a douche break mutuals with me over asking why people hate AI art so much. Apparently, it's thievery. With that said, how do you justify using AI art? Stalker child enjoy prison. Simple. I resolve the ethical and moral quandaries of artificial intelligence and its products by simply not caring about what anyone else thinks and just using things that are technological for my advantage without respect for any of the people involved in it. Like, I don't know. There's the argument is that, and especially because you can train those Lauras off of specific artists to develop their style. They get really pissed and like DMCA that shit because they don't want people like creating art like in their style, even though anybody can do it. Like with the open source technology, you can take down a collection of images and feed them through a machine and train that machine in the exact same way. You don't need, like, as long as something exists, it can be copied. And this is true not just for AI, it's true for real art. Like, you have entire people who do Elvis impersonation or Michael Jackson impersonation. There are people that do replications on a professional level. Like, oh, you want like a Jackson Pollock painting? Well, I can make it one that looks just like it. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what it is. It's always been a thing. Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. It's so you can be angry about it, you can cry about it, but guess what? It's not going to go away. And the only way it can go away is if the government makes it federally fucking illegal and it, like, makes the entire world less free by censoring certain technologies. The correct answer is to get rid of copyright, first and foremost, because it doesn't fucking matter. It's just a way to punish people. And it's always applied unevenly. It's never about actual copyright infringement. It's always about people saying mean things or some shit. Third World Aristocrat for 1 says, pronouns and mastectomy scars in my dark fantasy game. Why do they keep destroying beloved IPs, Jersh? My pet theory is that it's liquidation. The powers that be are liquidating every single piece of intellectual property and trying to make as much money as humanly fucking possible for as little effort as possible, hiring their friends and basically, like, you take like a big company like Disney, you take it over, you staff it full of your own people, whoever they may be, you create a bomb, and that bomb is something that costs $400 million to make and makes $200 million or $50 million. Your goal is not to make money. Your goal is to sell people something that they're already familiar with that existing IP. You take the budget and you divvy that up between yourself and all of your friends who you've employed through your company. Those people are now richer and better off. The company itself is poorer, but you don't give a shit because you happen to have insider information that the entire world is ending in 2040. So you are using that time to take control of high-value properties, then devalue their intellectual property holdings by releasing blockbuster bombs and shit AAA video games, using them so that you can pay your friends, take that money, and buy things that will survive the collapse of the government, like land and bunkers and medicine and shit like that, and a private military. You are smart. You know that these things will have no value once the bombs fall, and you know that time is coming soon. So you are simply liquidating something that you happen to have control over that does have value for right now and not for very long. Stephen Rith, for one, says, it's vitiligo. Alopecia is the hair loss condition, you redneck mongrel. I don't give a fuck. Fucked up. I don't have either. I got luscious. Here, wait. Hear that? Hear that lush hair, chat? It's so long and thick. It's thick with no Ethan Ralph bald spots or anything like that. And my skin, it's all white. It's pure white, chat. Colianante for 2 says, Josh misreads a sentence and says, that's poorly written. Take a drink. Judy Tester for 3 says, if Josh misreads a sentence, he is actually correcting it, and the writer is the one who made the mistake. This is true 100% of the time. That's correct. That's actually completely correct. Romberger for 2 says, Blizzard is looking at Dragon Age Veilguard character creator and saying, dudes, we failed you. We tried to be as inclusive as possible, and sometimes you miss the mark. Here's 10% your next D4 cosmetic. I don't know what that means. Blizzard sucks. Stendo for 1 says, fuck you, Trunos. Romberger for 2 says, did you hear Behavior had a co-op 4-player PvE game set in the Dead by Daylight universe, and they pulled the plug on the entire studio and killed it this week? Learning lessons from Concord and Hyenas, don't fund trash. I had heard of that, but it hasn't crossed my mind in a very, very long time. Yeah, I would love to see where they got before they killed it. Goldluck7 for 5 says, 48 minutes late, dude, they literally hired a guy who speaks no English at all. Now they're giving him a safety meeting because he keeps breaking rules he can't even read or understand. Hang all CEOs. What? CEOs are so important, bro. They make sure that your company stays prosperous. That's why they get paid the big bucks, because they know what they're doing, bro. Come on. Sneed Peterson for 5 says, poor soldier dude wanted a tried wife but got a tard wife. He married a fucking... Listen, I can name 2 girls who were members of the anime club. Or 3, actually. May, Faith, and that fucking weeaboo. The VTuber. Every person that I know, if you're dating a girl, and you're like, oh, she's a 10 out of 10 in England. I'm gonna hook her up. I'm gonna marry her. And then you're like, oh, what are your interests? Oh, I was a member of the anime club. Red alarm, 3 red flags, and 1 sentence. Get the fuck out of here. But people don't listen to their conscience. They don't listen to their gut instinct. They're like, well, you know, it's pretty good for England, you know. Fed Poster Maximus for 5 says, Josh, can you make an appearance on my friend's internet show? Should I get him to email you again? Also, is there any way to collapse an entire thread into a single PDF document? No, there is not, and I'm not really interested in making appearances. I'm sorry. I thought about doing it in the past, but it's like, I don't know. Nobody really wants to talk to me, then they just delete the bot anyway, so what the fuck's the point? Pitchbacks for 20 says, remember kids, take your Tommy C. Be Gone pills every day. That's the extra strength version. That's when you can't make someone not hate Tommy C. So you have to give them like a mind obliteration pill that makes them forget Tommy C is even a concept. Like they lack the fundamental brain power to even conceptualize that there might be a thing called Tommy C. Like Tommy C could be talking to them and they wouldn't hear or see anything. They might even bump into them in public. You got to be careful with that one. Claudius Need for 10 says, did you take your stop hating Tommy C pills today? No, I did not actually. Sorry. I'm just full of hate for him. Thank you. Sneedo for 1 says, I hate Tommy C. You're never going to make me take the pills. Fuck the trend respecting YouTuber commentary facts. B-jams. And Cena for Winslow says, also fuck anime, true and based. Anime sucks. Copen's need for one says, I'm not mad I got banned on the Kiwi Farms for going to Chantel. I got banned from Telegram for saying I'm a furry. Well, you know what? That's a completely different moderator. He also thought that you were gay. Sneedo for one says, safe edgy retards need to get hit by a fully loaded SUV. The one driven by the Chud and the Jolly comic guy. That guy's SUV. Holy Dante for 5 says, what the fuck is Dax putting in that Coke? Coke, I suppose. Zent Suppa for 1 says, you're still a child at 24 to 25. I'd say 27 to 28 is when you mature a little bit. T, soon to be 29-year-old boomer in a couple days. I think 24 is like the minimum, though, of when people are stop being retarded. Murdoch Chan for 10 says, I miss based Bioware when the token neighbor had an absent father, cheated on you, knocked the lady up, and abandoned her. Those were the days. I don't know what that's a reference to, but it sounds pretty accurate. Thank you. Champa Ralph for 5 says, do you think BMJ will lose it all in prison betting dice or card games? Will his addiction keep him in jail forever due to debts owed by other prisoners and his explosive rage against others? That's a hard call. I assume he will gamba in jail. He can't not do that. Like, he's going to go from a situation where he has constant stimulation from both crack and video games and gambling to one where he's in bed with books and shit. He's kind of fucked. Horse Beater for 1 says, imagine the horrors of an elf with top surgery after you cast healing spell and the breasts grow back. Loathsome. That would be funny. It's weird. That sounds like a weird fetish. I'm not going to lie. Tetrabrax for 20 says, gone digging them holes. Yeah. That's how the song goes. Expecting me to break into rap. Sorry to disappoint. I'm not feeling up to it today. Thank you. Mousecop5 for 5 says, at least we weren't racist will be the epithet on the mass grave of 67 million British. They won't get an epithet. Don't worry about it. We don't have to worry about what's going to be written on it. It's not going to exist. Tetrabrax for $200 says, great stream. Have a happy pizza day. You know what? I think I will. I think that sounds like a plan, actually. Thank you. Astino for 1 says, use Kiwi Farms link. Okay, I will look at this. It's loading, I promise. OCIS for bond violation has been updated. Let's see. He has gotten his attorney. He got a continuance on the 20th. So his hearing is on the 24th. I assume he's not getting out. No, he's probably in custody, I think. Okay, he's just stuck for right now. He's not going anywhere. That false copy of Sunder for 1 says, nice stream, my Nigward. What's your plans for the weekend? Nothing. Playing Dota. I might try to take. I'm working on something. I got a little bit stuck. Because of a Rust ownership issue. It's really complicated, and every time I take a crack at it, my head hurts because it's really complicated. Big pain in my fucking ass. Basically, if you're a Rust developer and you know a way to poll for both a Mio event and also external events triggered by the application itself, let me know. Basically, I'm waiting on either information from a socket or information added to like a VEC. And I have to pull for either of those, whichever one comes first in a loop. And I can't use the self as mutable. it's really annoying. I don't even know how to describe it. Describing Rust code is just like a clusterfuck. It's the most annoying thing ever. Murdoch Chan for 10 says, Susan Wajiki's sister has driven 23andMe into the ground in an attempt to privatize owning our DNA. Isn't Wajiki dead? Isn't that crazy that she's dead? "23andMe and Wajiki, surprised and disappointed by board resignations. Read the memo." Oh my god, what a hideous person. All 7 independent directors of 23andMe resigned from the company's board on Tuesday and moved that CEO Anna Wajiki said left her surprised and disappointed according to a memo to employees. Wojcicki, who co-founded 23andMe in God, it's a small world. These people are fucking evil. Sure. Yeah, I'm going to control the most significant source of entertainment and media that in the current age, and I'm going to control everyone's fucking DNA profiles. High five, girl bosses. I'm sure there's no conspiracy there. I'm sure that this highly powerful and influential family aren't doing things to some greater purpose. They just coincidentally run these extremely important things that have tons and tons and tons of personal information that are valuable to the political elite. Just pure coincidence. The genetic testing company went public in 2021 through a special purpose acquisition company, and the share price has been mostly in free fall since then, dropping more than 95% from its highs. The directors formed a special committee in late March to explore potential paths forward. Wojcicki submitted a proposal to take the company private in July, but it was rejected by the special committee, in part because it didn't provide a premium to the closing price of 40 cents per share at the time. In a letter to Wojcicki on Tuesday, the director said they had to see a fully financed, fully diligenced, actionable proposal that is in the best interest of the non-affiliated shareholders. The directors said they disagreed with Wojcicki about the strategic direction for the company, so they decided to resign effective immediately. That we have not seen any notable progress over the last 5 months leads us to believe that no such proposal is forthcoming. The special committee is therefore unwilling to consider further extensions, and the board agrees with the special committee's determination. Wojcicki wrote to the employees' memo, which was reviewed by CNBC, that she still sees taking 23andMe as private as the best opportunity for long-term success. The company will begin to search for new dependent directors to join the board. It sounds like she missed the fucking bus. They went from $3.5 billion valuation to $200 million, and the shares closed at 34 cents on Tuesday. So what happened is that they went public in 2021, and that's when the Fed Treasury was printing out trillions of fucking dollars, literally doubled. Over COVID, if you ever wonder why housing prices have gone up by 100%, it's because the M1 money supply doubled over COVID. They printed so much fucking money and gave it out so freely to literally anyone willing to take it that they doubled the amount of US dollars that exist. So everything is worth half of what it used to be at the very least. And she went public in 2021 hoping to get some of that Fed money. And she didn't catch the falling knife, basically. And now her company is worth what it's probably actually worth, which is $200 million. And she doesn't know what to do with it because she missed her don't get me wrong, she probably sold all the information on 23andMe to the Chinese and the government. She personally probably paid herself hundreds of millions of dollars in CEO bonuses when she went public. And now that the company is kind of like falling apart, she doesn't give a fuck. Like, she already made her money. She already liquidated. She already bought her island in Hawaii. She already paid for private military services after the bombs dropped. She's already good. She already bankrupted that shit. She's happy. That's how it works. Thank you. Schneeberg Stein Goldman for 20 says, you should try absinthe. It's very good. If you like Jaeger, you'll like absinthe. I've never tried it. I suppose if I ever drink again. I have not drank in months at this point. I had gin and tonic at some point, I think, and it was pretty good. That was like over like 6 months ago now. Kadu for 10 says, the Eau de Pagite thread reminds me of Cologne talk. Any new favorites this year, Josh? No. After Ralph showed off that he had this the Sauvage cologne. It was the same exact kind that I had that had been recommended to me by women on the Kiwi farms. And I just stopped using it. I still have it. I've never finished it. It's in my backpack. This half-finished bottle of cologne. Because the moment I saw that Ralph was using it, I'm like, I can't wear this fucking pig musk anymore. It's literally brand murder. So no, I just I have like an unscented deodorant, so I don't wear anything right now. Thank you. Scanlines for one says, you forgot some Brit suffering news, and then oh yeah, so Trafalgar Square has 3 plinths, and there's an unfinished plinth, and they've not been able to decide what the fuck to do with it for like 200 fucking years, and they recently made it. These are like, I think this is old. Oh, it's unveiled. They were working on it, but they announced what it was. If I remember correctly, and I'll check the article. If I remember correctly, these are face mask of brown transgender prostitutes, and that's now what sits on the fourth plinth of Trafalgar Square. I have been there, and I have fed the pigeons in Trafalgar Square. I went up to the vendors with my little pound sterling coins and bought pigeon feed and sat by the fountain and threw pigeon feed at the pigeons. I have been there. Okay, let's check if I was right. We'll tell the stories of trans and gender variant people through an art installation with 726 face masks, created by Mexican artist Teresa Morgales, 63. The plaster cast masks come with unique names. Highlight a community that typically tries to blend in with the larger cisgender. Yeah, they try so hard just to blend in. You never notice. They could be around you at any time and you have no idea. They just blend right on in. They gotta get more visibility. They're so nameless and faceless. You just don't know. You don't know. It's like AIDS. Anybody could have it. Okay, they're not prostitutes. That's what I thought they were. Living and gender variant people. Okay. The original plinth was built in 1841. It took them that long to figure out what to do, and that's what they did with it. England is fucking dead, and it deserves to be dead. Asian tech support for 5 says for the Jarbo album fund. Maybe. I'll get him to do a Christmas album. Vordier for 5 says, one time you played Soldier Poet King as an outro song, and it's one of my favorite songs now. Thanks for that. It's a great song. I still listen to it. Happy to help. Octavia sales rep for 5 says, pizza. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Chud Norris for 10 says, Bossman's first day inside. And I'm going to take a guess, and this is the clip from the Boondocks where the black lawyer guy drops the soap in the prison shower. Let's check it out. Oh, is this AI? Wild Bill and Moon Pie. What the fuck?
Psst. Hey, dude. You gonna go for that moon pie?
Moon Pie. Holy shit, what the fuck? From the Green Mile. Are you gonna spit it at? Ew.
Little black sailboat. Yep, little boat, yes sir, yes sir. How do you do?
Hope your bags are packed.
My bags are packed. I'm ready to go. Where are we going? Let's go. No, 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 no.
That moon pie thing was pretty original. Gotta give him that. Oh, yeah.
That's such a nice uniform. What the fuck? People don't dress like that anymore, man. That's real nice. Correction officers now just look like fucking mall cops. Doodlepot for 20 says YouTube link. Card posting better than Bible quotes. Okay, let's check out card posting. Merchants from 3 days ago.
Hello there, my name's Card. I'm a long-time progressive community organizer and activist. And today, I just want to briefly talk...
I think if your job description is community organizer and activist, they should just beat you. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they're going to beat you with. I don't know how long they're going to beat you. But some combination of person, object, and length of time should happen to cease the faggotry.
A reactionary dog whistle has been around for a little while now, as well as what it really means, who's using it, and why. For those who might not know, in politics, a dog whistle is a word...
Yes, I know, bro. You say this every fucking stream.
...vocabulary, particularly in online spaces. Long story short, a lot of online alt-right terms and memes content. To that end, one of the most enduring and reused online far-right-wing symbols is this image, which is commonly called the Happy Merchant. This picture was created by a prominent neo-Nazi cartoonist, being designed to play off of old anti-Semitic stereotypes about Jews, like that they're covetous or greedy. And it's essentially a stand-in for the archetypical Jew in the alt-right imagination. If you see people posting it online, or similarly referring to Jews as merchants, just be aware that it's a pretty blatant anti-Semitic trope of the sort very popular on image board websites like 4chan and 8chan. Also, it should be noted, given how popular this particular picture is with the image board crowd, edits or variations of it are pretty common, and all carry the same anti-Semitic connotations, but are often made to be subtle or much harder to notice, so that only the other hardcore online reactionaries who are exceedingly familiar with this stuff will notice it.
You know, I remember, and I'm trying to find it, I swear that there was a, like, ancient Egyptian hieroglyph of Jews, and it was like, he was doing the hand rubbing thing, and I can't find it now. But I swear it was a thing. And it's driving me crazy. Yes, thank you, Card. I know what a happy merchant is. Just in case somebody, like, as if anybody sees this picture and it's just like, I wonder what that is. That's a weird drawing. I wonder who that's supposed to be. Okay, thank you. Stephen Rith for... I lost my place. There it is. In Space Marine 2, you have two squad mates, Asian and Black, and Asian with inferiority complex acting like a CCP pugman threatened to snitch you out and tried to kill you over a traitor psyop. Continued. And then Stephen Rithford says, while your Black subordinate went full chimp mode as the traitor Marines showed up and insisted that he didn't do nothing wrong for disobeying your order. I've never played Space Marine 2, but that sounds like a really true-to-life story, I suppose. If there were Space Marines and they were diverse, that's how they would be, I guess. Sneedo, for once, is something for the Tuesday stream. The NFL opened up a public Discord server, and the results are as expected. It's in the Maddie thread. That does sound pretty funny. Imagine, dude, is the NFL, like, falling apart? They, like, sold direct rights to YouTube, and now they have a public Discord, like, with a brand association with Discord. The NFL must be, like, dying or something. That's pretty based. Tetrabax frequently says, I'm with the Japs on unscented being the best scent. I did not know that was a Japanese thing, so now I'm going to have to find a scent, actually. That's why nobody mistakes me as a weeaboo. Thank you. Anime Sexcope and Sneed says, I feel free. Thank you. Steven Rith for one says, also the pizza voicemail was Tony Soprano, AI slop. Somebody sent me a voicemail, by the way, and I can't play it because they asked me not to. But they were saying that what they suggested for a t-shirt design for the merch run, and then they didn't realize that they didn't hang up on the voicemail system. So there's like 3 minutes where you can hear them driving like a car and like doing turn signals and stuff before saying, oh fuck, this is still on, please don't play this on Maddie. And then they hang up. I'm like, okay. I guess I won't. But it was pretty funny. Okay, cool. Play it anyways. It's exactly what I described. It's not that different. Okay, I think that's it. Sorry this one's a little bit short, but you know what? Not every Friday is a big Friday. Sometimes there is little Friday. Because a long time ago, I made the decision, the very intelligent decision, to make these streams 2 days apart. Not even. Alright, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Take it easy, have a great weekend, and bye-bye.
Guess who's home, baby? BossmanJack. Yeah, buddy.
My brother, I knocked him out cold.
You have a small amount of crypto I could have, man. Like a small amount. I don't have $1 to my name, though.
I'm moving out! Mom! I have $40,000.
I just lost $40,000 today, man.
Mom, I just won $25,000. No excuses. I'm getting a fucking car. No! It's gone. I fucking just lost $25,000. I just won $10,000, dude. I just lost $10,000. I have 200 racks! I have $200,000! No, I lost!
Coin flip is love and coin flip is life. I wake up, I pray for a good coin flip set. I go get my morning breakfast and then pray over my food and my success at coin flip that day.
Yeah! 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 Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, bro!
Oh. Look, it's right here. Oh shit! Oh no, we're on redeeming! Oh my god, dude, we're on redeeming that quick! It's been activated. I'm not kidding. It's gone. It's gone, dude. It's gone. Duplicate product code. Ow! Every time? Can I get an R in the chat if you know what R stands for? Holy shit, guys. It's gone. He was right. It's fucking gone, dude. I lost it all. Fuck this website, bro. This is a sad-ass website. Tell me, type a 5 in the chat if you truly, honestly think they've done something to my account.
That is wrong!